Приветствую, дорогих подписчиков и гостей моего канала. Продолжаем проходить. Как оказалось, очень долгую игру, да, очень долгое прохождение a.noire. Ну, и то даже по две части бывает, точнее по два дела проходишь за один раз, и то все равно растянулась игра на уже 11 часть. Погнали сразу же. Очередное дело, обнаженный город.
The coroner thinks the broad was whacked using the army morphine. Don't say anything, Roy. Just get over there.
Вроде бы достаточно, сейчас походу я вспомню, но достаточно дело длинное, поэтому может быть даже на одно видео растянется. Вот сюда. Давай, вези меня, Рой. Ты что-то там медленно все делаешь. В общем, посмотрим сейчас, как пойдет, но навряд ли я. Два дела здесь. Это небольшие сейчас дела. Там еще до пожарного-то дела, мне кажется, еще. Ну хотя да, наверное, немного уже остается до пожарного дела, то есть уже там такое. А пожарное дело уже последний, то есть там уже там немножко будет дел. Ну как немножко, тоже несколько дел. Ну короче, мы уже точно с вами больше половины прошли, больше половины. Потому что буквально вот в 11-12 части мы уже закончим отдел нравов и перейдем к пожарникам. То есть конец таблицок. Так, погнали. Нет, все равно игра интересная достаточно. Я хоть все этаж, квартира 6. Спасибо. Ну да. Вот. Просто да, подзатянуто немножко есть. В этом много никто не спорит. О, здорово, Биковский. С этим.
Relax, Rusty. 26 years old, fashion model. Found in the tub by the cleaning lady, Mrs. Reynoldson. She called it in.
We heard Carruthers thinks...
Carruthers likes to make work for people. Overdose of sleeping pills. Falls asleep in the tub, rest in peace, case closed.
Это как обычно, да.
Mal is 100% that it's murder.
Do you mind if I take a look around?
Sure. Go right ahead.
Ну, Carruthers, здорово.
Phelps?
Mal, we've had a look around. Rusty thinks it's a waste of time. What's your theory?
Come on, Mal. Tell us why we were dragged down here.
If the victim was alive when she entered the tub, water would have entered her lungs. The water is violently churned in the windpipe as she drowns. The result is that a lot of foam is generated. This foam is found at the mouth and nostrils in almost all cases of real drowning. Notice anything about our Vic?
May I take a look?
Be my guest. Take a closer look at her head and neck.
The neck is bruised pretty badly.
Так, тут тоже синяков каких-то было. Укусы. Ну да, типа.
Like bite marks.
Very good.
Тоже нахер кусал-то. Охренеть. Колечко тут.
Very unusual ring.
Could be wrong, but it looks like a black sapphire. The eyes are a classic sign of morphine, and the bruises tell their own story. I think one man held her down and another held her arm and injected her.
Так.
They put her in the bath to try to cover it as a drowning.
А кусал кто?
A trail of barbiturates.
Угу.
Take a look around outside on your way out and see if you can find the syrettes. It will make my theory.
The morphine would have been very quick, and there wouldn't have been much of a struggle.
Okay, so find two guys who recently bought syrettes and weren't junkies, and you might be onto something.
Угу.
Not much help.
Не. Ты Каразарс не будешь мешать?
Maybe she was having trouble with some boys, huh? Maybe she got her heart broken. Couldn't take it anymore. So she ran herself a bath.
А можно, блин, как-то таблеточки поставить? Или... Понятно. В общем, тут, я так понимаю, ничего больше нет, да? Окей, погнали. Дальше смотреть.
They're there. It's okay.
Великанчик красивый. Картина. Так, что у нас тут за...
Quality English smoking jacket. I
Фас
don't know anyone
пошел.
under 45 who would wear one.
Угу. Угу.
Looks like barbiturates.
Барбитурат.
Barbiturates. What else is rattling around in this thing?
Джулия Рэндалл. Ага. Так, это что такое? Доктор Стор, бензидрин.
Describing both drugs would make her life a roller coaster.
Да. Какие-то снотворные, да? Так, погнали сюда. Так, что у нас тут еще интересненького есть? Так, с этим мы еще поговорить успеем. Телефон нам не нужен пока. Что у нас? Картинки. Фотографии посмотрим.
This is all top end of town stuff. Gives us somewhere to look.
Пусто. Угу. Окей. Где-то же мы что-то найдем.
Been a modeling assignment.
Так. Досен, бульвар, Голливуд, Аймворкин. Угу. Составочная компания. Спросить мистера Рэндалла. А, мисс. Юлия. Угу.
It's a place to start.
Угу.
Beautiful girl. Clothes certainly aren't from the Sears catalog.
Угу. Тут что у нас? Тут пусто у нас. Окей. Так. Так, что в купон куда же сходим? Говорить не всегда успеем. Понятно, ну это не пригодится. И это не пригодится. Ага. Все-таки нет, да, не пригодится. Окей. Что, все что ли получается? Тут никаких записок. Что, пойдем разговаривать? Что я больше не вижу никаких тут. Важно.
Detective Phelps. I'm here to try and help Julia. Do you mind answering some questions?
Virginia Reynolds.
Ага.
I'm just so shocked. I feel like there's something I should be doing, someone I should call.
We can make those calls, ma'am.
Ага.
Who needs to be notified?
That's just it. I don't know. Miss Julie doesn't have any family in town. Someone has to set her affairs in order.
Ага.
Mr. Henderson, maybe? What else is there? I don't know.
If you give the details to the other detectives, ma'am, they can try and get in contact. Was Miss Randall depressed about something? Upset?
No more than normal.
What are you hiding here, Mrs. Reynolds? Julia was obviously disturbed about something.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
She was taking barbiturates. She couldn't sleep. You must have seen them in her room.
You've seen the pillbox, the things she hid in there.
Видели.
I don't know how she supported herself. Always new clothes and jewelry. She lived like a movie star. A princess. Does modeling really pay that well?
Смотря в каких фильмах. Так, личная жизнь, да?
Did Miss Randall have many friends visit?
I'm not sure. I only come around twice a week.
Why are you lying to me, Mrs. Reynolds? Julia had men stay here.
I will not speak ill of the dead. You can't prove that.
Так, домашний мужской жакет.
Who owns the smoking jacket?
I wouldn't like to tell tales, you understand.
Мистер Хендерсон
That's
какой-то,
Mr.
да?
Henderson's. An older man, very distinguished looking. He seemed very much in love with her.
Where would we find him?
I'm sorry. I don't know. He said he lives in San Francisco.
What was it like working for Miss Randall?
Perfectly fine, officer.
Mrs. Reynolds, it seems like there's something you want to tell me.
She was very
Какая скрытная, блин, а? Нахер чё?
lovely one moment and
Это
sweet
умерла,
the
этот
next.
сидит,
She wanted it
лжет,
now, she wanted it damn
скрывает.
quick. Of course, being so beautiful, it seemed like she was going to get it. Not the way it's turned out, though, is it?
Thanks, Mrs. Reynolds. You've been very helpful. One of the other detectives will take your statement, and then you can go home.
Ну и чё, куда едем?
Stefan, Rusty, we'll take a look around outside and then follow up these leads. Can you get some guys to run down the jacket?
You think Carruthers has called it right?
He rarely gets it wrong.
I don't know. I'm a Galloway. I've met enough girls in my time who can't handle
Да
their
это-то понятно. на самом деле. Так, что у нас тут где? Точка H, тогда надо идти, ну, хрена себе. Так. Он все время ставит, и теперь понимаешь где.
You can drive.
Так, квартира.
All right, where to?
А почему? Почему так? Клиника Стоунмана Доссе. Квартирку еще раз сходить, что ли? Так, значит, что-то я не все нашел, мне кажется, да? Он же сказал, что я какие-то эти должен пилюли там, не пилюли, морфин найти. Надо еще походим, посмотрим. О. Вот оно. Вот мы нашли.
Mal will be pleased.
Угу.
Well, that's hardly conclusive, given the number of those things we've come across recently.
The autopsy will confirm it one way or another.
I think our work
Всё.
is done here.
Теперь все, да. Ну это хорошо, что такие подсказочки есть. Я-то уже подзабыл, что надо еще одну улику найти. Так, ну что, поедем к этой хозяйке магазина.
You know the way. You can drive.
Do we know
Так,
where
к
we're
пленнику мы
going?
ездим еще. Да, вот заедем к хозяйке. Вы видите даже?
Galloway, quite the little reunion in there. Almost almost brought a tear to my eye.
They're good police.
How would you know? You got promoted so fast. You
Хороший, хороший. Не, Биковский-то вообще нормальный чел.
Bukowski's a pushover. Galloway's a drunk.
Ну, не красавчук он. А этот, ну, с Галловой согласен. Не хочет работать, выпить.
I don't see why they'd be any better or worse at it than me.
I noticed you said better. Hubris disguised as humility. Kind of your trademark, don't you think?
Why do you always twist everything? Galloway's got nothing to prove. He's been on homicide for years.
And he's welcome to it. You're a terrier, Phelps, and that's what I need. Not some
Так вот, я просто говорю, то есть я думал, я сам буду ездить, да, так представляете, бы, насколько затянуло сюда, если бы я сам ездил. Это жесть. Прохождение.
'Well, hello. What can I help you
Здорово.
with today?
LAPD, ma'am.
I hope I haven't done anything wrong.
No, ma'am. We're making some inquiries about Julia Randall. Does she work here?
No, I had to let her go. Is she in some sort of trouble?
She was found dead this morning. How long have you
42
been
года не
working as a
дашь.
model?
Well, she worked in New York before coming here. She was a very beautiful girl.
Could you tell us why you let Miss Randall go?
Husbands sometimes come in here with their wives. When Julia Randall modeled, the husbands were often more interested in her than they were their wives' dresses. The wives weren't happy, and neither was I.
Did she have any close friends here?
Actually, yes. Heather Swanson.
Давайте
Would you like
поговорим.
to speak with her?
I'd like that very much. Please don't inform her about Miss Randall's death.
Very well, officer. Heather, these gentlemen are from the LAPD.
I'm Detective Phelps. This is Detective Earl. I understand that you worked with Julia Randall, Miss Swanson?
Yes. Julia helped me get my job here. She's not in any kind of trouble, is
She's
she?
a hellraiser, isn't she? Lives a fast life.
Oh, no. Maybe Mrs. Stanley would call her that, but I wouldn't. She's full of life, a wonderful company.
That's a lovely engagement ring.
Do you like it? Henry gave it to
I'm
me.
very interested in engagement rings. Do you mind if I take a closer look?
Короче, Генри раздаривал кольца, получается.
That's some pearl, Miss Swanson. It cost Henry a fortune. He must really love you.
Связь
How did you meet Julia?
мертвая.
I was introduced through my fiance, Henry Durant.
Окей.
Henry is your beau. Tell us about it.
Yes, he is. Henry has a fashion business. He and Julia have been friends for years.
Интересно.
Are Miss Randall and Mr. Henderson engaged?
Who's he?
She was wearing a sapphire engagement ring. Someone must have given it to her.
She never mentioned a man named Henderson to me.
Так.
That's all for now, Miss Swanson. Could you ask your fiance to visit Hollywood Police Station? It would be very helpful to our inquiry.
Now, wait a moment. I don't think I'll pass on that message until you tell me why you're asking all these questions.
Julia Randall was found dead this morning.
What? Oh, no. Oh, I can't believe it.
Ну, а что делать?
She was so full of life.
Так, ну что, погнали к столу, к этому, ну, короче,
You're behind the wheel.
Толман, да.
Where are we going?
Ну что, будем тупить стоять?
Can you drive to this one?
Nice move not telling old Sweet Lips in there about her friend taking the big jump till we were half out the door. Very slick.
I figured we'd get more out of her that way.
You're learning, Phelps. We'll make a vice cop out of you yet.
Как ты, да, Эрл? Так, чё, куда? Да что заходить? Это вот вход в клинику, ничего не написано. Интересненько. Вот тут тоже жопа.
I swear, if we locked up every doctor in this town, Vice would be able to work half days.
Это точно. Так, чё, Стоунман? 505. Ну, погнали. Я уже я читать-то умею.
Stoneman, office 505.
Погнали. 505.
Yes, sir, your name?
До свидания.
LAPD. We'd like to see Dr.
Ну ладно.
Stoneman.
Dr. Stoneman is with a patient. Would you like to wait?
Нет?
No, we wouldn't. Tell him we want to see him now.
There's no need to be rude.
Save it, sister.
Dr. Stoneman, I have some gentlemen from the LAPD here to see you.
Send them in, please. I'll see this patient again after they've left.
Dr. Stoneman, we are investigating the death of one of your patients, Julia Randall.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
Do you mind if
Ну,
we ask you some questions about Ms. Randall?
у него нарушить, да, врачебная тайна. Конечно, что он там скажет. Много он там не расскажет.
How well did you know Miss Randall?
Barely at all. She'd only been a patient 6 months or so.
Ну, я думаю, что он лжет. В июле 46-го. А сейчас, да. Угу, я понял. А сейчас, так, во-первых, ложь.
Julia Randall has been your patient for nearly a year. I'm sure you know that.
Do you doubt my veracity, detective? Do you have access to my patient records?
Есть. Все есть, братан.
Your prescriptions contradict you, doctor.
Miss Randall was in the fashion business, as you probably know. She was jumped up on Benzedrine by day and knocked down by sleeping pills at night. I told her to slow up, but no. Life was too short for her.
And you supplied the prescription for the Benzedrine.
It's not illegal, detective. A lot of young women in her line of work use it for weight loss.
You wrote Julia Randall a prescription for Benzedrine. How can you account for that?
Miss Randall was in the fashion business. She wanted to control her weight.
Benzedrine is addictive, as I'm sure you know, doctor.
As I warned her, but she was determined. She said she needed it to control her appetite.
Sounds like you knew her pretty well.
I knew the line of work she was involved in.
That'll be all for now, Dr. Stoneman. We'll be in touch.
Я думаю, да, мы свяжемся. Так. Где наш телефон? Можно от вас позвонить? Или что, или посмотреть?
Circumstantial.
Ну, понятно. А, вот телефон. Вот это я, конечно. Молодец. Что сейчас этого Генри? Генри надо искать. Или...
Phelps, badge 1247.
Уж вон приехал.
Any messages?
Yes, detective. The coroner's been asking to speak to you.
Давай.
Connect the call if you like.
Please, thank you. Al?
Cole, can you get over here? I just finished the autopsy.
Погнали.
Sure thing, Mal. We'll be right over.
Погнали. Погнали.
The old boy's lying.
About what?
А там парадных вот это какой-то
He looked relieved.
задний.
Dead. It's a strange reaction to have to the death.
Ну это да, есть такое. Правильно подметил Рой. Опечалился, но радовался. Опечаленная радость, так скажем, да?
Have you noticed how croakers only pull out the physician-patient privilege card when they got something to hide?
Это понятно.
Things people have a right to keep private.
Until it gets in the way of police work. And it's only private when it suits them. A couple of drinks and every doctor I've met will spill your darkest secrets in a heartbeat.
Ну, все возможно. Где он там? Да, его.
Roy, I have some information for you.
Так.
You're the only person enjoying this, Mal. Get on with it.
The bruising confirms 2 sets of hands, so we have 2 killers.
Угу.
Death was caused by heart failure due to an overdose of morphine.
Have you dragged us down here to gloat? We already heard your theory.
We agree that she was murdered.
Yes, of course.
I have something else to show you.
All right, Mal, what gives?
The dead guy's name is Jimmy LeBlanc, career burglar. He came in this morning. Someone stove his head in with a lump of 2x4.
So what? Good riddance.
I found 2 syrettes in his jacket pocket.
Wow.
Hang on a minute, Roy. We're listening now.
No sign of morphine use and no metabolized morphine in his blood. Scratch marks on his face.
Which
От неё,
could be
да?
from getting his head remodeled.
Time of death, Mal.
Maybe an hour or 2 after the Randall girl.
И она
So you're saying Laughing Boy here could be one of our killers? That's a hell of a long shot.
она поцарапала его.
I found something else.
В смысле?
Sorry, I don't play.
I don't know if it's significant. His wallet was empty. The only other things he was carrying were the harmonica and the morphine. Carruthers. Yeah, he's here. I'll send him over.
Если она могла его
Henry
поцарапать.
had an interview too for you next door. Let me know how you get on.
Sure, Mal. And thanks for the lead.
Sure, Mal, thanks for the lead.
Ой. Удобно, что рядышком все.
You look like you were a big pain in the neck.
I was door knocking all morning, but I gotta make on the car in the
Вот это, да? Чувачок. Здорово.
Mr. Arnett, I'm Detective Phelps. This is Detective Earl. Thanks for coming in. Call me Henry. It's the least I could do. Tell me the news about Julia. How well did you know Julia Randall? Vaguely. I'm in the clothing business, and Julia occasionally modeled for me.
Оп, что с лицом? Интересно. Ну, я хер пойму. Что-то...
He's asking whether you banged her in a chuck on the shoulder fraternity kind of way.
I'm engaged to be married. It wouldn't be polite. Answer the question. This will remain private?
Не-не, мы ничего не сказали. Конечно, мы скала.
Yes.
Ясен пень, что были. Мистер
Miss
Хендерсон.
Randall's landlady said she was seeing an older man. Could have been. I wasn't privy to all the details of Julia's private life.
Так.
Henry, I don't like when people lie to me. She was seeing a man named Henderson. You know who I'm talking about. Easy on, detective. I may have heard of Henderson, but I don't know his full name. I think he's from New York or someplace back east. funny. Julia told her cleaning lady that he lived in San Francisco.
Okay, you got me. I don't know where he's from. Julia wanted money. She always wanted money. She thought she could get something from this guy.
She was wearing a distinctive engagement ring. You think she might have convinced him to buy it for her?
Maybe he did, yeah. Maybe he and Julia were
Короче, опять тоже.
Ever heard of a Jimmy LeBlanc?
No. Should I have? Is he an entertainer or something?
Глаза вот начинают там что-то.
So you wouldn't have any reason to believe that LeBlanc would be involved in Julia Randall's murder?
If this guy is a criminal, he might have been involved. But like I said, I've never heard of this LeBlanc character.
Heather told us that you were in fashion.
That's right.
I want to make
Did you know, Mr. Wachowski?
some kind of traveling salesman?
Once I got out of the Corps, I used my...
You were in the Marines?
Sure. I'm proud of it. The Fighting 6th.
You were in the 6th Marines?
Yes. I was a captain.
Which company?
Various companies. We had a lot of casualties.
Which engagements?
Okinawa. A couple of other places.
That will be all for now, Henry. You've been very helpful.
Напиздел, короче, полно. Проследить.
Because we're giving him a couple of minutes before we start tailing him. Arnett is an amateur. We need to find out who killed the girl. Can you pass this on to Bukowski? Have him check the place out and go through his records.
Sure, I'll pass it on.
Thanks. Can you also have R&I run the records on a Jimmy LeBlanc and find out who was his last arresting officer? Have them get in touch via KGPL when they have some information.
Интересно.
He's in that car at the lights. He was squirming like a worm in there. Don't you love it when they pull the war hero excuse? You don't.
Я в охерели, блядь.
I'd have expected a cad like Arnett to be a better liar.
А как они на красный, что ли, едут? Не могу понять. Это мне кажется, что они на красный едут. Они едут на зеленый, а потом на красный. Который раз такой. Да, опять красный, да, действительно. Все верно. Да тихо вы, не полите контуру. Ой, надо ускориться, слушай. Ой-ой-ой, сильно ускорился. Сейчас опять красный. Ну что ж такое? Ну не было, что бубнить-то в этом. Я тут тот еще мастер слежки, да? Ой-ой. Секонд-хенд. И что там находится?
money and fast.
Ага. Закладывает что-то. Наверное, да.
Get in there and find out what he wants. I'll start with him. See how he intends to spend the money. Too much slack. Get closer.
Hoof it, Phelps. I'll bring the car around when I'm done here.
Хорошо. Когда закончишь, подгоняй. Почему он решил не на машине поехать? Машина же тут оставил. Ой, извините, пожалуйста. Вообще не хотел. Да никого. Ты чё, мужик?
Move in. Can't risk losing the trail.
Я как будто что-то подозревает. Куда-то собираться.
That's right, Mexico City. One-way ticket.
Мексика.
Next to Bells.
That would be 1 day from now. Is that okay?
It's going to have to be.
LAPD, the man who just came in here, bought a ticket?
Yes, sir. To Mexico City tomorrow night.
If you hear from him again, don't mention this conversation.
What have you got?
He bought a ticket from Mexico City tomorrow night.
That's good. But this is better.
Че он заложил?
God, it's Fabergé.
Should have seen the look on the pawnbroker's face when I told him to hand it over. The guy who owned the joint thought it was worth at least 10 large for a cigarette case. Arnett only got 600 clams.
Кстати. Любовно. И шо? И шо от этого?
Go ahead, KGPL.
11K, go to Hollywood Station. Homicide detectives Bukowski and Galloway have information relating to the Randall case.
Roger, KGPL. 11K, en route.
Car 11K, car 11 King, come in.
Car 11 King, go ahead.
R&I reports the last arresting officer for DOA Jimmy LeBlanc was patrolman Fred Wallace, who's working a shift on Hollywood 9th Beat, Sunset Boulevard between Gordon and Wilcox.
Car 11K, en route.
Ага,
A
все.
one-way ticket to Mexico. Old Henry's looking as guilty as a dog. You're behind the wheel.
Так, куда поехать? Голливудское отделение полиции, патруль. Патруль, все здесь, отделение. Надо сюда что-то. Ты реально решил куда побежать, братан?
silk stockings and licking.
Come on, let's give him a hand.
Right behind you, Wallace. Detective Phelps.
Wallace, go left. I'm going right after this little prick in the alley.
Неплохая тут перестрелка тут. Вот там тебе такие аккуратно. Куда ты побежал потом? Бух. Намазал. Давай, давай, давай. Прикольно.
Thanks. Outstanding warrant, armed robbery. Knocked over a drugstore back there, and it looks like he brought his whole posse with him. Bad luck for them.
They're all yours now. We need some information.
Ever heard of a burglar goes by the name of Jimmy LeBlanc?
Sure. We nabbed Jimmy on a burglary beef a couple of years back. They cut through a music shop and into a jewelry store. He got 4 years. I miss his partner, though.
His partner?
О, напарник.
Big guy. I had him cornered, and he picked up this huge display case and threw it out a plate glass window. Then he vaulted out of there like something out of Barnum and Bailey.
Way.
I would have had him, except for LeBlanc yelling, "Run for it, Willie!"
And you think he was an acrobat of some sort?
More like a strongman, a wrestler, or a boxer, that kind of thing.
Thanks. No big help.
You haven't done too badly yourself.
Да, это так, мы тебе помогли немножко.
You know the way. You can drive.
Where are we going?
1922.
You're suggesting LeBlanc is still working with Willie?
Всевозможно.
A strong man held down Randall while someone administered the poison. Someone with muscle opened up LeBlanc's skull.
Зачем он убил его, да? Ну, сейчас узнаем. Да, я уж что-то тоже подзабыл уже это. Это дело.
We caught up with Mal. He's given us the dope on LeBlanc.
He worked burglaries with a big guy. Goes by the name of Willie. He might be our killer. Can you work boxing gyms, the Y, promoters, that kind of stuff?
Since when have you started giving orders, Phelps? And where's the burglary angle? There was no sign of a...
That's where our net comes in. Next stop, we speak to Lacey about a list of recent burglaries.
The guy's a bum. His office is a front, and he's behind on the rent and his phone bill.
And he's skipping town tomorrow.
Let's get him in and beat it out of him.
Do you want to bring in the killer, Rusty?
You could be too smart for your own good, Phelps. We've been talking about that, haven't we, boy? Stefan?
Finbar?
Sir, I need the contraband list. Items stolen over the last year.
Hang on, I'll dig out a copy for you.
Нифига, копию. На большой листочек. Надо найти эту портсигар найти. Побережать.
Is the cigarette case on there?
Побережать. Так, Gold Sig. Воу, побережать.
It's here. Arnett must be out of his mind trying to move this while under a murder cloud.
И вот это кольцо. Беверли Эпстром. Сюда. А ринг еще какой-то был. Лексафир ринг. 14 апреля, короче.
Yeah, I'm thinking of moving up to a 45.
Even the engagement ring was purloined. Our net is a cad.
Угу. Всё. Погнали.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Do we know where we're going?
То есть, короче, это грабители. Он, мужичок, он этих двоих нанимал, чтобы грабили
You
для
and
него.
Rusty have been having discussions. Anything you would like to tell me, partner?
Phelps, don't be so touchy. Rusty had his best ever clearance rate working with you. Even if the cases he worked on can't be discussed. We were just comparing notes. You're a Booneroo case man, Phelps. One of the best I've ever seen.
Thanks.
You gotta learn to take a compliment, Phelps.
Nice house.
LAPD, ma'am. Is Mrs. Eavestrom in?
She is. Would you follow me, sir?
I am Mrs. Eavestrom. How may I help you?
Бабулька,
You
здравствуйте.
appear to have recovered some stolen goods that belong to you, ma'am.
Yes, of course. That terrible burglary. Would you like something to drink?
No, thank you, ma'am. We have some questions, if you don't mind.
Why would I mind, young man, if you are returning 43 pieces of my property?
Okay, before we get down to that, I'll have a scotch. Thanks, straight up.
Maria, can you get the detective a drink, please?
Перечень
Can you
полезных
describe to us what was stolen?
It would be easier to describe what wasn't stolen, detective. A priceless tiara that has been in the family for 50 years. A Fabergé cigarette case that was worth $25,000.
Бабулька накручивает цену.
Lying about the value of your jewelry, Mrs. Eavestrom.
Who do you think you are? Heinous accusations in my own home.
Я какая? Так, где у нас портсигарчик? ТБ. 10 тысяч.
We recovered the cigarette case from a pawnbroker. No one knows the real value of an item better than those guys.
I inflated its value for the insurance claim.
Понятно.
Are you satisfied?
Конечно.
My daughter's boyfriend was quite taken with the case. I think he was even more disappointed than I was when it was stolen.
Интересно.
What can you tell us about the burglary?
That terrible night, at least a year ago. But let's not go into that. Let's talk about what you've recovered.
Were you in the house when the burglary took place?
Good heavens, no. I was at a social function held by a Dr. Harold Stoneman and his
Опача.
lovely wife.
Интересненько.
I returned home and all of
Интересненько.
my things were missing.
That's about it for now,
Опять
Mrs.
доктор
Eavestrom.
Стоуман,
The
да?
department will get in touch and let you know how you can recover your valuables.
You've only mentioned a few of the items that have been stolen, Detective. What else has been recovered?
You see, Phelps? That's why you get the drinks in early.
Hello, Mother.
Ёшкин-матрёшкин. А вот и дочка.
We'd like to ask exactly the same question.
You have met my daughter?
This morning at work. Oh, mother and father divorced. I took my father's name.
The detectives recovered some of the things that were stolen, darling.
Вот
What did you find?
она
A sapphire ring on the corpse of Julia Randall.
What are you talking about?
Your engagement ring, Miss Swanson. Would you be surprised to know that it was part of the proceeds of a burglary?
That's an outrageous allegation.
Yes, it is.
Маша аж присела.
I suggest we go straight to Henry Arnett's place and sort this mess out.
В смысле? Я повезу. Может он повезет. А ты можешь повезти? Окей. Ну ладно, не может, не может, я повезу. Интересно, а что это не может? А что у него? Ты не... Вот баранище, а? Не, ну нормально так выезжаю, я выезжаю, никому не мешаю. Ой.
And Randall was obviously his partner.
But neither of them are the type to creep apartments.
You're being ridiculous. Both of you. There's a very good explanation for all of this.
What is socking it, sister? You're being played for a patsy and you're not even smart enough to see it.
Интересно предположение. Наверное, то есть избавились, что она хотела что-то рассказать, что ли. Шайку, короче, воров накрыли. А почему я должен вести? Что за фигня? Я сокр пить хотел это время, понимаешь? Какие? Блин, чуть это... Чуть-чуть засмотрелся и это... Влепешился. Лепешку не взял. Блин, как долго. Да, представляете, вы так на каждое дело бы ездил. О, вот это был бы номер. Это что там, мусоровозка? Все нормально, все нормально. О, наконец-то. Подъехали. Пошли.
Come on, sister. Let's find out who your fiance really is.
Как он живет?
Welcome, sir. I'm sorry, are you a resident?
Yes, of course.
LAPD detectives. We're here to speak to Henry Arnett.
Oh, Mr. Arnett? Apartment 30.
30.
Take the lift.
30. Спасибо. А какой этаж? Ну ладно, в принципе, он тут сам включит. Автоматически.
Well, isn't this just nice enough?
Stop! LAPD!
Kill him, Cole. This guy's our case.
Go on, put your hands in the air!
И начинается побег. И А это вот этот вот жердяй какой-то, видать, должен быть. Куда? Куда? Стрелять, о, бля. А куда он побежал? Запутался. А он поди там за углом стоит. Твою мать. Шляпа слетела. Тот за углом стоит, я понял. Блин. Как? Как? Вы чё? Такого не может быть, вы чё? А я чувствую, где-то что-то шатает. Ну ладно, сейчас. Да, а вот это прикол, конечно. Он меня сейчас ждет. Угу. И вот этот типа мощный какой-то грабитель. Смешно. Упустил я его, понятно.
Looks like he got you good, Phelps.
Yeah, he really packs a wallop. How'd I get back here?
Under your own steam, miraculously. You came in through the window, said hello, and then keeled over.
How was our net?
He's coming around too. He's all hopped up. Good time to get some answers.
You missing something, Henry?
Угу.
You told Heather you're honeymooning without her?
Угу. Сообщи.
Vacheron Constantine. It's an extremely expensive watch, Henry. A graduation present from my parents.
Пижены. Да. Так, то что у нас? Так. Один с честным, понятно. Так, ну пойдем пройдемся. Здесь еще походим. Что у нас тут кухня есть, интересно? Да нет, фигня какая-то. Арбуз тоже не даем. Так, что у нас там? Выход поди. Так, тут у нас дартс, прикольно. Что такое? Что, все что ли? Это все, что можно было найти? Ладно. Ого. Потайная комнатка. Какая потайная? О? Что-то такое. Да. Да, короче, бесполезно. Что-то скажу, потому что... Все, пора его допрашивать. Ничего интересного нет. Так, это выход там. Погнали. Шайка домушников.
You and Randall and LeBlanc and Willie doing the legwork. I'm in the fashion business. You're lying, Henry. How can you prove that I'm involved, detective?
Как? Это был список краденого. Нет, портсигар, да, наверное.
Because you pawned a Fabergé cigarette case today for $600. A case that is on a list of stolen items. Julia's idea.
Джулия придумала.
Get a list of society parties, find out where and when, and then have the guests murder. Julia was desperate for money. No matter how much we made, she always wanted more.
Интересно.
Why did Reed and LeBlanc kill Julia Randall?
I wanted to stop, to get out of that life. I was going to marry Heather if she had me. Julia told the others that they were out, that she was going to create a new gang.
You're lying, Arnett. I think you ordered them to kill her. It was made to look like suicide, and when the coroner saw through that, you knew it was time to run.
I told you I was involved in the burglaries. I had nothing to do with Julia's death. Why would I need to run?
Действительно, там билет лежит. Действительно, зачем врать-то, а?
Have you told Miss Swanson that you're leaving for Mexico City tomorrow night? That it's a one-way ticket?
Это неправда.
I had no choice. I wanted to marry Heather. I told Julia I wanted out, and she laughed in my face. To pay Willie and Jimmy a fortune to do her, and now I'm completely broke.
What you are, Buster, is under arrest.
Это точно.
Who is Henderson, and what is his involvement?
Tell them what you know, Henry. I'll stand by you.
То есть, тетка, я, говорю, тут останусь с тобой.
There is no Henderson.
Tell me about your first burglary, and don't lie.
I can't remember. I don't keep a list of these things.
Так. Билет на поезд. История, чудное кольцо. Шприц, время работа, рецепт, с натурой, наш кольцо черным сапфиром. Возможно, самоубийство, морфин. На список, да?
Your first burglary was a Dr. Harold Stoneman. You want to explain how he is involved, or shall I?
Henderson is
Все понятно. Еще Стоунман завешен. Ну все теперь понятно. Ну это я понял, да, что он устраивал вечеринки. О, да, выиграл. Все понятно. Неплохо вы придумали.
Henry Arnett, you are under arrest for burglary and for the murder of Julia Randall.
Henderson is Stoneman, all right? I'm not the guy you want. Go talk to the good doctor.
Oh, we will, knucklehead. Meanwhile, we're fitting you for convict stripes.
Всех повяжем. Только одного этого не повязали. Артиста, как его? Циркача, клоуна. Ну, еще не допросили, да? Погнали.
Can you drive to this one?
All right, where to?
I guess the wedding's off.
He only robbed her mother and killed her best friend. Cut the guy some slack.
So how does the doctor fit in?
That's what we're about to find out. Maybe we should ask him to give you a quick once-over. That meathead gave you one hell of a pasting.
I've had worse.
You should have seen yourself staggering back in there like a drunken sailor.
Next time you can take the rudder, boy.
I didn't box in the Marines, though, did I?
Should have never told you that.
Yes. Погнали. Мне кажется, он сейчас... Что-то я припоминаю. Что он где-то там прыгнет, что ли? Что-то я такое припоминаю.
Hang on a moment, sister. Tell him it's Henry Arnett, and tell him it's urgent.
I can't do that.
Tell him, or I'll charge you with obstruction of justice.
Doctor, I'm afraid Mr. Arnett is here to see you, and he says it's urgent.
Send him in. I told you never to come.
Tell us the truth, Doctor.
I'm so glad you came. Prison will be better than insanity, and I'm already half insane with grief. Do you know that I loved her? I ruined my life for her, and yet I still love her.
Will you testify in court that Arnett and Randall did these robberies?
They organized the robberies. Julie would get the names of the guests attending my wife's parties. Didn't matter how much money I showered upon her, it was never enough.
Понятно.
Never really cared for me.
Конечно.
I'm afraid you're under arrest.
Насколько я помню.
Practice. You'll call Dr. Gerard. No. Please don't cry.
Неужели мы
I want
увидим?
to see no one. Not my wife or my children, nor my friends. And I don't want a lawyer. Just
Не, он прыгнет.
and throw away the key. What have I done?
Да, я ж помню.
Didn't see that coming.
Помню, что... И чё? Куда?
Operator, message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
I need an ambulance and the coroner immediately to the offices of Dr. Harold Stoneman, 1646 Ivor Street, Hollywood.
En route, Detective. You have a message.
Так.
Detective Bukowski says the suspect is named Wilson Wolf Reed, former wrestler.
Рестлер.
His known address is an apartment building at the corner of Hollywood and Vine.
Надо сейчас бегать за ним, что ли? Ой, мама дорогая, ну что же такое-то? Погнали.
We have an address for the runner.
Let's try and wrap this up then.
Какое дело большое? Я все-таки понимал, да, что большое дело. Ну все это понятно, что я больше не смогу себе пройти. Это очень длинно же за час. Конечно, стал бы. Он так и сделает. Ой, это я спойлер, что ли, сделал? Ладно, да. Где тачка?
You're talking from experience.
I certainly am. Oh, I like women as much as the next guy. As long as they're in their place and doing what they're told.
Сейчас будем бегать.
He's around here somewhere. A big guy. Neighbors say he always wears basketball shoes and a cream jacket. And get this. Kids around here say he plays the harmonica. Find a game well and have the commander set up a dragnet. We want the area closed off. We'll take this out of the street.
A harmonica playing wrestler. That's a weird one. Think he knits as well?
Ого.
Just keep your eyes open and your mouth shut. You don't want him to bolt on.
Ща. Ща.
Wilson Reed, LAPD, give yourself up.
Ёпта, у тоже пиндер. Пестик. Погнали. Или можно наверх. Они всегда бегают так куда-то. Лазят. Да, я хоть бегу, интересно. Я вот только его не вижу, но... Бля, как же... Я вообще туда бегу, интересно? Я вот вообще не знаю, ну вроде бы... Нифига себе он туда был. А я правильно бегу, интересно? Тут там от меня отстаешь, не отстаешь, молодец, вроде. О. Куда? Наверху где-то, ребята. Ну чё? Это чё? А там погиб. Это чё, босс какой-то, да? Жесть.
Julia Randall's folks are flying in from New York tomorrow to find the body. I saw her on the slab. So perfect. Looked like she was made of porcelain. She really made an impression on me.
Julia had that impact on a lot of men.
Christ, it's cold. You guys did good work here today. Roy, I think you should buy your brother officers a drink.
Do you now? That's very generous of you, Lieutenant.
Все. Ноль. Ущерба никакого не нанес. Троих можно, да, действительно, все правильно. Вот. Пожила называется красиво. Ну, такое. Так, флешбэк еще надо посмотреть обязательно. Да шо ж так громко-то это музыка. Да. Пока так.
The major is dead. We're being overrun. We have to get off of this hill. That's one of our 50 cals still firing, Cole. The 22nd are still fighting.
It's over, Cole. Looks like you're one of the lucky ones.
Say goodbye to your friend Hank, Jack.
He was your friend too, Cole. Is this how you're going to leave him? Are you wounded?
Not a scratch, Kelso.
Well, get up and get out of that fucking hole! Find a stretcher while you're at it so we can get him out of here.
Who's the senior officer here?
I guess that's you, Cole.
You were up here all night?
Yes, sir.
And your command?
Gone, sir.
Sorry to hear that, son. God damn it, we have beaten these bastards back. It's the beginning of the end, and it was one here. You're a goddamn hero, son. What's your name?
Lieutenant Phelps, sir.
I'm recommending you for the Silver Star and promoting you to First Lieutenant.
Так, ну чё? Все, тогда. Божественное предопределение. Это мы уже с вами оставим на потом. Да, в итоге получилось-то, ёпс, туда это там. Херово. Это одно дело, ребят, ну 6-6, ладно. Ну все, на сегодня все. Увидимся в следующей части. Ставьте лайки, подписывайтесь на канал, оставляйте комментарии. Всем спасибо за просмотр. Всем пока.